Your power's a weak old man. When I met you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master.
Rob, do you still recall the first album you bought?
I do.
Which was it?
It was a 45 of a folk artist named Jim Groce, who was pretty much primarily a folk artist, but he had a couple rockin' songs here and there, and he had a song called Bad Leroy Brown, and it was a pretty big hit in America. And I remember I asked my parents to buy it for me because I wanted to memorize all the words so that when it came on the radio I could sing along to it. So I did. I had them get that. I sat there and I listened to it 17 times in a row, memorized all the words, and then so whenever it came on the radio I could sing every word. So
What was the song about?
kind of like like I identified with it because I lived in a kind of a crummy neighborhood, and so it was about this dude who was Bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. You know, meaner than an old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. And so it was just about these kind of rough characters who I saw in my neighborhood, and as a kid, I didn't necessarily look up to them, but just that I identified with them. You know.
How old were you?
4.
4 years old.
Yeah.
So you could speak for 1 or 2 years and then.
Yeah, you can speak when you're 4. I got a 4-year-old I talk to all the time.
No, but I mean you could speak 2 years. I think since the age of 2, and then you even memorized the words to a song.
Yeah.
Okay. And the first album. This was a single, I think.
First album. I think the first album I had my parents. This is super geeky. The first album that I ever had my parents buy wasn't even a rock record. It was the Star Wars soundtrack because I loved Star Wars, everything about Star Wars. So I had them buy me the soundtrack, and I think I was like, I can't even remember like what age I was or whatever. But
do you still have these albums?
I don't have the exact one, but I have since, of course, repurchased the Star Wars iTunes catalog.
What makes it so good for you? Soundtrack?
I just, I love it, especially Vader's theme. I love Darth Vader. I collect all kinds of Darth Vader paraphernalia, so anything Vader I'm into, and that theme is one of the darkest pieces of music ever. It could be a metal song,
yeah.
And so I like that about it.
So, what attracts you in Darth Vader?
What's that?
What attracts you in Darth Vader?
I mean, he's a total badass. I mean, got the Force. He can choke people from like 10 feet away, but he's conflicted, and I love that it's the dark side and the good side, and he's not he's kind of sitting there, that he's conflicted,
yeah.
That he is a bad guy, but then occasionally he's like, fuck, I can't do this.
And the first rock.
There's something fascinating about him to me.
Yeah.
The breath, the voice. James Earl Jones overdubbing that voice was just, it's epic.
Yeah.
Your power's a weak old man. When I met you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master. So good.
Do your kids watch it? Watch it too?
You know what? I haven't showed them the movies yet because like we generally show movies together, and we felt like our youngest was a little too young right now. But I've told the whole Star Wars saga to them. So what I'd do is I'd go read the screenplay, so read the script, right? And I broke each movie down into like 10 or 12 different stories. And I tell them, like, I lay in bed and tell them stories, at night before they go to bed. And so I break down each movie into about 10 or 12 different stories and chapters, basically, and I'd sit there and I'd read it, and I'd do all the voices, and I do all the and I tell they can ask me questions, and like all these crazy details can be explained to them. And so I've done all 6 movies, all 6 Star Wars movies. I've done the first 3 Indiana Jones. I'm doing Kingdom of the Crystal Skull right now. I did something else too. I can't remember what else I did. I did some other movie series though, and they're into it, man. It's pretty cool, and it's cool just because, like, rather than watching something, you know, we're all just laying there and I'm just talking and they're all just
Yeah.
staring up and they're kind of like imagining these things. And the next day they're like, what does a TIE fighter look like? Or what does this look like? What does Jabba the Hutt look like? And so we'll go online and I'll show them pictures of it. And, you know, it'll match what they think or be different from what they think, which is cool.
When will you show them actually? When you're oldest?
I think my oldest is probably ready. My oldest is ready. I just
Just wait and see.
waiting for the Blu-ray.